With the combination of Six Flags and Cedar Fair, there is now possibilities of new manufacturers coming, like Gerstlauer, Vekoma, and especially RMC coming back to the Cedar Fair parks. There is a lot of possibilities to have like RMC iBox coasters being made, hybrids, but today I would like to focus on the Raptor aspect of it. Which Cedar Fair park has the highest possibility of getting an RMC Raptor? Let's figure that out in today's video. Let's get into this. What's up guys, Cam here, and before we get into this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on all of those notifications, and let's get straight into this. So, Cedar Fair and Six Flags are merging, and now with the new introduction of the probably prohibited manufacturers like Gerstlauer coming back to Six Flags, and now we're thinking RMC is coming back to Cedar Fair. And now I'm going to tell you the possibilities that I think that can happen of an RMC Raptor coming to one Cedar Fair park. And let's get straight into this. And let's start with Valley Fair, one of Cedar Fair's original parks. And I think that this has one of the highest chances because first off, they have some land around it that they definitely could use for an RMC Raptor. And another reason why this would work is because they don't have a lot of really coasters. They could really use something like an RMC Raptor because they don't have a single rail coaster really. It doesn't really work that way there. They don't really have a single rail coaster. But that is just what I think on the Valley Fair situation. Next up, we have Cedar Point. And why Cedar Point? Cedar Point is a 50% chance, and I know the big rumors of an RMC T-Rex coming are big, and I personally think that. I quite agree. I hope that we get an RMC T-Rex at Cedar Point one day, but there is not the highest possibility of that happening, so we might see a Raptor, but who knows? We don't really know what's going to happen. That's just what I think on the Cedar Fair part, or the Cedar Point part of this. Let's go on to next, California's Great America. That is a 0% chance they already have an RMC Raptor. Next one, Canada's Wonderland. This one has a 30% chance. Why? Because Canada's Wonderland has a lot of space that they could definitely use an RMC Raptor, but personally, if I think that they were going to go for something like an RMC Raptor, I think that they would rather go with a Zamperla Thunderbolt in that situation, but that's just what I think on that part. I do think that Canada's Wonderland could really use something like a Raptor. They don't have a single rail coaster, so that's just what I think on that idea. Next up is Carowinds. That is a 60% chance. Carowinds definitely has some space that they could work with for an RMC Raptor. They could theme it to whichever side. They could have it go onto both sides. Like they could have they call it like Double Jeopardy, or Double Carolina, or they could call it Gemini. They could call it that. But Carowinds could definitely work with a new RMC Raptor. It could definitely work there. It could go with Fury 325. That would be pretty cool. That's just what I think on the RMC Raptor situation for Carowinds. Let's get on to the next one, Dorney Park. This was a 20% chance. This park has been abandoned for so long that I don't even know how. They are getting a new coaster though, and I think that will be the one investment for the next 10 years. That's right, they're getting a dive, and it'll be 10 years that they get the next coaster. I'm just kidding, but they do have a slight percent chance. If they're getting an RMC Raptor, it'll probably be in a deal with a different company. Dorney Park doesn't really have that much space to work with, but we can see Dorney Park get a new coaster one way or another. That is just what I think on the Dorney Park situation for an RMC Raptor. Let's get on to the next one, King's Dominion. That is a 40% chance. King's Dominion has a high percent chance because they have a lot of space, but why would I think their better counterpart, Kings Island, would rather get the RMC Raptor before them. Why? Well, because they're just built different. It is a much more popular park, and Kings Dominion, they could get a Raptor, but it's not really a guarantee. I think it would go to a different park rather than Kings Dominion, but that is just what I think. Kings Island, this is a 99% chance. Kings Island really needs an RMC Raptor. Is it Mystic Timbers or is it Twisted Tim? I don't know, guys. I don't know. But they do have a chance of getting the RMC Raptor because they have a lot of space to work with, and it would fit really well into the Kings Island thing if Cedar Point doesn't already get a T-Rex or a Raptor. But that is just what I think on the Kings Island situation. On to Knott's. This is basically guaranteed that they will be getting the relocation of Railblazer. But it does have a chance of going to Discovery Kingdom. But the RMC Raptor would definitely work at Knott's Berry Farm. It fits within their height limit, and it would be a really good fit there. On to Michigan's Adventure as the next one. Michigan's Adventure has a .00001. They have space, but who cares about Michigan's Adventure at this point? They have 5 weird solid coasters, and nobody cares about Michigan's Adventure. If they were to get a Raptor, it would be in a deal that it would go to every single park. Michigan's Adventure is basically abandoned. It would be like Six Flags New Orleans if it was still operating. That is just what I think on Six Flags, or on Michigan's Adventure getting a RMC Raptor. And on to the final one, Worlds of Fun. 75% chance that Worlds of Fun will be getting this RMC Raptor. Why Worlds of Fun? Well, RMC would work well at Worlds of Fun. I think that they do have the space, and it could work in the park. They could put it in a forested area, so it would be highly themed. It could work in a lot of spots, and there's just a high percent chance that Worlds of Fun could really work with a RMC Raptor. But that is just what I think on Worlds of Fun. Now, in total, there is a high possibility that a lot of these parks, mainly the higher end parks, could be getting a RMC Raptor in the near future. But what do you think? Tell me down below, what do you think which parks could be getting an RMC Raptor in the future? Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on all of those notifications. And I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.